Welcome to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here today. My name is Matt and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so you cannot hear, your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so please be sure to check out the schedule on the website for more. The presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/WACAC. And now I'd like to turn it over to our presenters, and first up is Lafayette College.
Thank you so much. My name is Kathleen Williams. I am the Director of West Coast Admissions, so really excited to be here with you today. I'm going to share my screen and talk to you a little bit about Lafayette. So we're named after the Marquis de Lafayette, which you might know already from Hamilton, but he's more than just a figure in Hamilton. He was a man who, in defiance of his king, set sail to help the colonists in the Revolutionary War. He was an abolitionist, a suffragist, and a man who really stood up for his convictions. His motto, "Cur non," means why not, and it is the motto of the college today. So at Lafayette, we really, we believe that you can be anything you want to be. We have 4 divisions: engineering, the social sciences, the natural sciences, and the humanities. We do not admit by major, we admit by you, the person. We ask that you declare your major by the end of your first year if you are an engineer. And by the way, we've been doing engineering for over 150 years, so long before it was cool to be an engineer. And that everyone else declare their major by the end of their sophomore year. This is a school where students often double major, major minor, or in some instances graduate with both a BA and a BS. So we really believe that in the cur non spirit, like why not stretch academically and take classes way outside your wheelhouse, because you might find that you have a passion for it. Faculty to student ratio, 1 to 10. This is a place that where your presence in the classroom will be part of the energy of learning. We are have an average class size of 18.6. Comes to a surprise to many that we are Division I for sports. In fact, we have a huge rivalry with Lehigh. In terms of football rivalries, it is the oldest in the country in terms of games played against each other. So if you were to Google it, football rivalries, you don't have to go to Stanford or Cal or SC or UCLA to get that intense rivalry. We show up on a top 10 and a top 25 list. They played their 150th game against one another, these 2 teams, at Yankee Stadium to a sold-out crowd. Happy to report a Lafayette victory. We are located in Easton, Pennsylvania. Easton, for you, the closest airport to fly into directly would be Newark, which is about an hour and 5 minutes from campus. You could also fly into Abe, which is in the Allentown, Bethlehem, Easton. It's the local airport. It's about 20 minutes from campus. You are looking at an aerial view of downtown Easton. To orient you, the college sits up here on College Hill. You can take some steps down and you would walk all the way to this roundabout. It would take you about 20 minutes. You would also pass our downtown arts campus in doing so. I know you already have a connection to Easton because I'm sure that all of you have picked up a Crayola crayon in the past, and Easton is home to the Crayola crayon. This is also, the roundabout is home to the oldest farmers market in the country. So our students will definitely go down to the Saturday farmers market. And if you're a foodie at all, you will not be disappointed because the food in Easton is fantastic and downtown is very local, as you can see. This is also one of the cities where, where the Declaration of Independence was read. There was only 3 cities right after it was inked. So a lot of history. Also equidistance to New York City and to Philadelphia. This is the downtown arts campus that I was talking to you about. This is where our film and media studies students, our fine arts students, and our theater students take their classes. It's where our black box theater is and our television station is. This is an aerial view of campus to get a feel for it. We sit where the Delaware and Lehigh rivers converge. Lots of bike paths, lots of running paths, lots of greenery at Lafayette. So if you are interested in sustainability, for sure, Lafayette may be a good fit for you. We are all about that. We hope to be carbon neutral in 2035. We have our own farm that you could farm your own things while there, and just really are conscientious of the environment. Our students, 60% of them study abroad, including our engineers who have the ability to study the second semester of their sophomore year in Bonn, Germany, or Madrid, Spain. Alternative School Break is one of the 200 clubs we have on campus. It's a service club where you go and travel and do service. You don't know where you're going, you sign up and write an application based on the topic of service. So really cool club. And then there's an unveiling and you find out where you're going. 50% of our students for sure will do research with professors. As an undergraduate school, all the opportunities to do research are yours and yours alone. So you can live on campus during the summer for free, and you will get paid to do research. Really great opportunities that certainly help you when applying to grad schools. Lafayette also, our students are very engaged in the community. No one requires community service, but they certainly use their talents for the betterment of our society, whether that's locally, nationally, or globally. So how do you get to us? We're a common application school. We are test optional as most, but most important thing you should know about Lafayette is that we meet 100% of demonstrated financial need. You can fill out the FAFSA and the CSS profile. We also have tuition merit scholarships, 10, 15, 20,000, half tuition and full tuition scholarships. We are an Army ROTC school. We certainly as a Division I school have athletic scholarships. We're a regular decision, early decision school, and early decision November 15th, regular decision is January 15th. We do a holistic review of your application, and demonstrated interest is important to Lafayette. We definitely want you to interview if you are interested in Lafayette. It's optional, but you should do it. So that's it for now. Would love to talk to you more. Again, I'm Kathleen Williams with the coolest email on campus. I am williecat@lafayette.edu. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathleen. Next up is Penn State.
Great, thank you so much. Okay. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining all of us this evening and spending some of your time getting to know our different institutions. My name is Isabel. I am an admissions counselor at Penn State. I'm also the recruiter, out-of-state recruiter for California and Nevada. So Penn State is a world-class university in the Big Ten Conference. We combine high-quality academics, the traditional big college campus experience, a diverse student body coming from all 50 states and over 130 different countries. We have an incredibly vibrant and energetic student life, Division I sports at our main campus, and unique inside and outside of the classroom experiences that make our students' years at Penn State truly special. We are ranked in the top 1% and focused on the student experience and student success, not just during their time on campus, of course, but also after graduation. We are a Research One university, allocating over $1 billion in undergraduate research expenditures annually. So we're able to provide research opportunities for our students in all fields of study as early as your very first year. As you can see here, our 93% first to second year retention rate is 12% higher than the national average, and our 85% graduation rate is about 25% higher than the national average, which we're very proud of. One of the reasons our students are so happy and successful at Penn State is that with over 275 different academic programs to choose from, they're really able to find the perfect major for them. We are most well known for our business, engineering, nursing, and science programs, but we have so much more than that, obviously, from creative and performing arts, agricultural sciences, information sciences, the liberal arts, communications, education, and even more. We also have our Division of Undergraduate Studies, which is for our undecided students. And most students will enter into their academic college as pre-majors and are not required to officially declare their major until the end of their second year, which allows time to be flexible and even to change your mind if you need to. And with over 1,200 different student clubs, organizations, and activities, our students can find and form their own special Penn State communities with students from all over the world with shared interests, passions, and hobbies. So Pennsylvania is in the eastern/mid-Atlantic region of the U.S. You will experience all 4 seasons at Penn State, for sure, which is actually awesome, I found, and I am a native Californian. From our main campus, University Park, we're about 3 to 4 hours to some great East Coast cities like New York City, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, and Washington, D.C. Now, we have 20 different campus locations that offer a huge variety of campus sizes, environments, and cost, but please keep in mind we are one university. So we have campuses that range from 500 students to 40,000 students, and campuses that are in college towns, that are in rural settings, urban environments near bigger metropolitan cities, but we are all one Penn State. We have a 2+2 plan, which is really unique. It allows students in almost any of our degree programs the flexibility to start their Penn State career at any of our campuses, and then complete the final 2 years of your degree at the specific ending campus that offers your major. So yes, we have our large campus, University Park, but if you want that Penn State education, but you're looking for a smaller campus feel, we have those options for you. Or maybe you want to be in the midst of a major city in one of those urban environments, or being in a vibrant college town, or you would do best in a small, quiet rural setting. We have all of those campus options. And we also have campuses that are more affordable than our large main campus. So no matter what campus or campuses you attend, you will receive the same high quality Penn State education. And ultimately your transcript and your diploma will say the Pennsylvania State University. Now, we have a fairly straightforward application process. We don't require any essays. We don't require any letters of recommendation as part of our general Penn State application. So the only 2 things you will need to submit for a complete application is an online application and our self-reported academic record. You can apply either through our My Penn State application, the Common App, or the Coalition. And we are test optional through at least 2023. We do have an early action deadline of November 1st, which is a non-binding deadline, and applying by this date will always give a student their best chance of being admitted to Penn State. And then after November 1st, we will move to rolling admissions. Now, we don't have any academic minimums, cutoffs, or guarantees, but this middle 50% admitted student profile can help you gauge your eligibility for Penn State and our various campus options. You can tell here, University Park is our most popular campus, so it is more competitive to get admitted to UP for your starting campus for your first 2 years. These ranges can also help you determine whether your application might be most benefited by submitting or maybe not submitting test scores. Again, just keep in mind, if you opt not to submit test scores, your application will not be negatively impacted in any way whatsoever. It just means that we will focus even more heavily on your high school academics when we are reviewing your application. Okay, and we do have the distinction of being the institution with the largest alumni network in the world, with chapters in every state and spread throughout the entire globe. So you really have a wonderful opportunity to become a part of our huge network of very, very successful and proud alumni who are going to be excited to open a lot of doors and offer countless opportunities for you as a fellow Penn Stater. So there's so much more to say about Penn State. I do hope you reach out to me with any additional questions that you have, and I'm happy to continue this conversation with you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next up is Franklin and Marshall College.
Thank you, Matt. Let me get my screen there. Can you guys see me okay? Or my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So I'm Jen Carrier. I'm the Assistant Director of Regional Admission for Franklin and Marshall College, and I am located out here in Northern California. So let's get started. Who are we? So Franklin and Marshall is a small liberal arts college located in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That's a county of over 500,000 people, but it's a smaller suburban town. It's located about 2 hours, actually more like 3 hours, I think, west of New York City and about 2 hours west of Philly and an hour and a half or so from Baltimore, Washington, D.C. We're a historic campus like some of the others, founded in 1787 by Ben Franklin, and it later joined with Marshall College with our Supreme Court Justice, John Marshall. All righty, so what type of students are we looking for? We are looking for students that want a small college. So we sit on about 220 acres. Our total student population is about 2,400, 600 per class, and it is all undergraduate students. We're looking for students that have a love of learning. So we have very rigorous academics. They're challenging, but very rewarding. You will find access to professors. We have about a 9-to-1 ratio, student to professor. And like other colleges, you'll find awesome research opportunities because there are no masters or PhD students to compete with. So the professors are there for you, the undergraduate. We're looking for students that want a sense of community. So we have 5 college houses. You will live in one of them your first year, and you're guaranteed housing on campus all 4 years. That house will be your hub of your community. We have over 90 clubs. Actually, we have over 100 clubs now, clubs and student organizations to choose from. So lots of ways to get involved. The average student is in 3 to 5 different clubs or organizations. And we have a wonderful Office of Student and Postgraduate Development. It's like a career center on steroids. It's got everything you need to be successful from day one, all the way through your time at F&M and then beyond after you graduate. We're also looking for students who want a diverse population. So we are a global campus. We have students from almost every state, 44 countries, about 20% are international, about a quarter of our students are students of color or first generation. So it is a global community. So if you want those 4 things, F&M might be the place for you. We offer over 60 majors, not just liberal arts, stereotypical of arts and humanities and social science, but we have engineering, we have computer science, we have pre-med, pre-law, pre-dental, pre-vet, all kinds of sciences. So you should be able to find something that you are interested in. We also have a lot of art, music, and theater. But if you can't find something, you can actually create your own major. We have special studies majors. You can craft your own major. We really want to personalize your academic experience at F&M. You will declare your major at the end of your sophomore year. Alrighty, how do you apply? So you're going to use either the Common App or the Coalition app. SAT is not required. We've been test optional for 30 years, and it's not a COVID thing. So don't worry about your SAT or your ACT if you haven't taken it or you just don't want to submit your score, no problem. Interviews, highly, highly, highly recommended, although they are optional. It's not so much for us to judge you, it's for you to tell us what you want out of your education and for us to tell you how we can meet those needs. So I highly recommend it. The people that do them are awesome. They're super nice. They're trained especially to support you and help you through that process. You can go online and just Google on our website, admission interview, and you can get set up for a virtual interview. Don't be scared of those. We have, let's see, early decision 1 and 2. Early decision 1, deadline is November 15th. Early decision 2 is January 15th. And January 15th is also our regular decision deadline. If you do go ED, if you think F&M is the place for you, go early decision. You'll find out within 30 days of the application deadline. If you got in, you will have your financial aid estimate. And remember, it is a binding agreement, so we will ask you to withdraw any other applications. But if you want to come to F&M, I highly recommend that. The admission rate is a little bit higher. All right, and then financial aid. So fill out your FAFSA, do your CSS profile. F&M guarantees you 100% of demonstrated need. So anything beyond what your family is expected to pay, we will cover that 100% for all 4 years. We give over $65 million worth of aid. About 2/3 of our students receive some sort of financial aid. So go for it. All righty, 5 different college houses. Again, you'll have guaranteed campus housing all 4 years, and you will live in your house that first year. They're really great places to start that bond of community right from the get-go. We have Division III athletics, 27 varsity sports, but if you're not an athlete, we have other ways for you to be involved with club sports, intramurals, and fitness. And we have an awesome study abroad program. About half of our students participate in that. They have summer programs, semester programs, and year-long programs. So take advantage of that. And with a liberal arts education from Franklin and Marshall, you can do it all. I'm Jen Carrier. I have my Instagram, my email, and our admissions website address right there for you. Please reach out and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will turn it over to our next presenter.
Excellent. Thank you, Jen. Next up is Drexel University.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm really excited to tell you some about Drexel. So as you may have noticed, all of the schools here tonight are Pennsylvania schools, but I happen to be the, I believe, one and only Philadelphia school. So I'm really excited to tell you some about the university. So we are located right in Philadelphia. So we are a very urban environment. City streets run through campus. It's about a 25-minute walk to the very center of Philadelphia, or 2 minutes on the subway. But as you can see, there are some lovely green spaces, like in my Zoom background behind me. So there are wonderful places for you to hang out. We are a full campus. It's not like you have to take shuttles all over the city to get to your classes, nothing like that. Everything is pretty much all together. It takes about 15 minutes to walk from one side of campus to the other, so very manageable. Our section of the city is called University City because we are one of 3 schools there. So directly across the street from us is the University of Pennsylvania. Our campuses literally run into each other. Note that's the University of Pennsylvania, not Penn State University. They are separate. And then on the other side of Penn's campus is the University of the Sciences of Philadelphia. So all together in our neighborhood, there are about 40,000 college students. And so it's a great location. It's like a college town, but right next to Center City, Philadelphia. So there's always a lot going on. Our student population makes up about 15,000 of those 40,000 students in the area. And what you're going to find, though, is that your classroom experiences aren't going to reflect that size as much as you might anticipate. Our median class size is 19 students. Student to faculty ratio is 10-1. And that's very intentional. We have a strong focus on experiential education. So we do a lot of hands-on project-based learning, which isn't something you can do if you're in a large lecture all of the time. That's not to say you won't have any large lectures. Depending on your major, you might have 1 or 2, but you're not going to have many, and you're really not going to encounter them after your first year. And if you're in a class that has more than about 60 students, you'll find it's actually required that that class meet once a week at least in a smaller recitation or lab group, so you can go over the material in a smaller setting. So you're never going to be just in a large lecture all of the time. We offer over 80 majors across 15 colleges and schools. So there are lots of options. And if you know what you want to study, you can apply directly to that major. If you're unsure, no problem. We have undeclared options within most of the colleges and schools. So if you know the direction, but maybe not the specific focus you want, you can go that direction, or you can apply to our first year exploratory studies program, which does exactly what it sounds like. It gives you your first full year to try out classes around the university. It comes with extra advising and an upperclassman mentor. So you have a lot of guidance as you're making that decision. When it comes to the experiential education that we do in the classroom, really the idea behind all of the experiential learning that we do is to give you a taste of the real world before you get there. So you're learning by doing, and you're taking that doing experience back into your classroom learning. It's this great cycle. We're able to learn from different perspectives, which really does help you to learn better. You're able to solidify things more within your mind. Quick example of what that can look like. We have, for instance, a class in our English program. It's a memoir writing class where students actually go to a local hospice and help patients there write short memoirs for their families. And so they're learning by doing, and also at the same time having an impact on the community. The way that all of our experiential education really comes together at Drexel, though, is through our co-op program. So co-op stands for cooperative education. It is a 6-month break from your classes where you're actually working in your field of interest, typically in a full-time paid job. We have co-ops all over the world. They're not just in Philadelphia. It's a program we've offered for 102 years. So it's a really big part of who we are. We have about 1,600 employers we work with. And it's a great way for you to figure out, is this what you want to do? Some students do a co-op and realize it's not right for them. They don't really enjoy what they can do with their major, but that gives you time to come back, change your mind, figure out what is the right program, and head down that path. You're also building a strong resume and connections in your field. We have 2 options for most majors for co-op. There's a 4-year program with 1 co-op, and then junior year, a 5-year program with 3 co-ops. You'll see in this graphic, we're on a quarter system, just something to keep in mind. For experiences outside the classroom, our students are very active and engaged. We have over 350 clubs and organizations. We're Division I for sports. We have performing arts and Greek life. We're really involved in community service in and around Philadelphia. It's pretty unusual to meet a Drexel student who's not involved in something. And then when it comes to the larger context of being in Philadelphia, it's the 6th largest city in the country. There's always something to do. We have great arts programs, music, culture, sports, great public transportation, really easy to get around, also easy to get to other major East Coast cities using Amtrak. Train travel is very easy on the East Coast. It's about an hour and a half to New York City, 2.5 hours to Washington, D.C., 20 minutes to the Philadelphia airport. And the main Amtrak hub for Philly is actually right across from our campus. So you can walk to the train, get on a train, 20-minute ride to the airport, fly straight home. And then for the application process, we do full holistic review. If any of you were in Northern California or Nevada, I would be the first person to review your application. Southern California, it would be one of my colleagues, Abby or Christine. And I'm looking at everything that you send. So you do not need to submit test scores. We are test optional for the next 2 years, unless you're applying to our 8-year combined BA, BS, MD program, because our med school does require those scores. But for everything else, admission, scholarships, our honors program, our first-year research program, you do not need to submit scores. Everyone is reviewed automatically for merit-based scholarships. You don't need to apply for those separately. You do need to apply separately for need-based aid through the CSS profile and the FAFSA. We offer early action, early decision, and regular decision. I'll drop a link in the chat in a moment that will lead you to our undergraduate view book where you can see all of those deadlines. If you do have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And again, I'll be dropping some links in the chat in just a moment with more information. But now I'll turn it back over to Matt.
Excellent, thanks very much. And up next is Gettysburg College.
Hello, everyone. My name is Katie. I'm the admissions counselor at Gettysburg College, and I am the West Coast person, so very exciting. But here at Gettysburg, just like everybody else has mentioned, Pennsylvania school, go Pennsylvania as a state. But in Gettysburg, we are in South Central Pennsylvania, so really close to the Maryland border. We really use that to our advantage for our students, alumni network, any of our institutional programs, anything like that. So we're about 60 minutes from Baltimore, an hour and 20 minutes from Washington, D.C., 2.5 hours from Philly, and 4 hours from New York. Your direct flight into Baltimore Washington International Airport will leave you right there. We're about an hour away from there. And we have transportation systems that come about 6 times a day to pick up students. So by all means, you'll be easy in and out of the airport into Gettysburg, no big deal. We are a wide-reaching campus. So we have about 2,600 students, but from 40 states and 40 countries. We really want you to know that you're not going to be alone. We have students from way further away, but also close by in the Mid-Atlantic area. We also have a very residential campus. So you're going to live on campus typically for all 4 years if you would like to, which means you're going to be around, you're going to be engaged. All of our students are typically in 3 to 4 activities out of the 120 that we offer. And people are really engaged with the community of Adams County as well, which is where Gettysburg is located, especially through our Center for Public Service. We have a farm on campus that you can grow your own food. Community members help as well. It's a great way to make sure that food insecurity and everything around Adams County is a problem that we can help fix here right where we are at college. We also have some great traditions at Gettysburg, and my favorite tradition of all time is on the slide. It's called the first year walk. Students will get together during orientation and line up as a first year class with all their first year staff and walk through the town of Gettysburg to the Soldiers Cemetery right outside of town. It's about a mile walk. And then you get to read and someone will give you the Gettysburg Address. Abraham Lincoln took the same walk with students back in the day in the 1800s. And it's something we really focus on at Gettysburg. It gives students the aspiration and the dreams of what can be done for a Gettysburg education and what can be done in the 4 years that you have at Gettysburg. While you're at Gettysburg, you're obviously going to be studying. So we have about 65 majors, minors, and programs. Students love to double major. About 20% of our graduating class in 2021 was a double major. About 50% of students will collaborate in undergraduate research. Since we all are undergraduate students, it really gives that opportunity to you as soon as you step on campus, especially your first year. We have about a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you're going to know the people in your class, you're going to know your professor, you're going to know that they have a dog, that they walk it every day at 5 o'clock around campus. This beautiful campus behind me, this is almost what it looks like now. Fall is starting here. So all 4 seasons, this is a great depiction of it. We really get to see what's going on. Our average class size is around 17. As I said, you're going to know those people in your class. You're going to walk around campus. You're going to study. You're going to go to our dining hall, which is ranked number 9 in campus food. You're going to have those opportunities together. Some of the things on this slide that are my favorite to talk about, one being our Eisenhower Institute. It is a presidency legacy program given to us by Susan Eisenhower, President Eisenhower's granddaughter, and we have an office right in Washington, D.C., 2 blocks from the White House. So really take advantage of our location to our finest for our students. Another thing listed on here is our Sunderman Conservatory of Music that is very unique to Gettysburg, having a Sunderman Conservatory in a liberal arts education. About 1 in 7 students are involved in some way, whether that is auditioning to be a music major or minor, or just being involved in our marching band or our choirs or our orchestra. But students are really involved in making sure that they're showing up for other students doing amazing things. Another thing at Gettysburg is about 60% of students study abroad for at least a semester. So that doesn't include students that are going to summer or programs over breaks. We have about 100 affiliated programs on 6 continents, and you pay the same price to go abroad. So you're really getting the education that you want and get to study in an amazing country that you're interested in. After college, obviously you have a lot of time to think about that, but something you should be focusing on. Where are these people going? We're very proud of our 98% of our graduates a year out being fully employed or in graduate school. And to make sure that you have the system that's preparing you to make those decisions while you're here at Gettysburg. About 80% of students will complete at least one internship before they leave. Having those metropolitan hubs around us really give you the access to the businesses, to the alumni that are living there. Also, one of my other favorite pictures of campus is during graduation. Not only do you get to study the flag of the country that you studied abroad, but every student wears a blue stole of gratitude that you then give to someone that has made a huge impact on your life for the 4 years that you were at Gettysburg, and it really makes a difference. Also in the slides, some of our newest programs. So our business and organizational management studies major, big deal, it's in its 3rd year now. Our data science minor, international and global studies, which you do have to study abroad for. Our new director of Eisenhower Institute, her name is Tracy Potts. She is an NBC News correspondent and our first woman of color to run the Institute. We were very excited about that. And with that, a $40,000 Eisenhower Scholarship for civic engagement. We want to make sure that students are engaged, are ready for the impact they're going to make of their time at Gettysburg College. How do you get to us? You know, big questions. We are a Common App only school. We do look at you very holistically, though. You've heard that term a lot today, but that really means that we want to know all about you. We're really looking for you to be engaged, to come to these events, to come to interview. We offer scholarships, 20 to 40,000. We need your FAFSA and CSS profile, and we are early decision 1 and 2 and regular decision January 15th and November 15th. Please connect with me. I want to know. There's so much more to learn. So please, I'll leave my email and some links in the chat, but I want to continue this conversation. But now I'll turn it over to Matt.
Great. Thanks very much, Katie. And finally, we will hear from Washington and Jefferson College.
Sorry, had to unmute myself. Hi, everyone. My name's Nicole. Actually, I know it says Marlinda, but I am here in her place today. Marlinda will be your admission counselor, though, so if you haven't seen her name already, you definitely will. And I'm just going to jump right into where we are. So as someone said a little bit earlier, all of us are Pennsylvania schools. We are located in the bottom left-hand corner of the state in a small city called Washington, Pennsylvania. The college is in the city itself. Washington is the county seat, so there is a lot going on in the city of Washington, locally owned restaurants, businesses, shops, lots to do. But we are also only about 25-30 minutes from the city of Pittsburgh. So our students use Pittsburgh to take advantage of cultural activities, theaters, music, concerts. We have 3 major sports teams and a lot to do. But also some of our students will do internships, career-related experiences in the city of Pittsburgh as well. As almost everyone already shared, we're pretty close to some larger cities, New York, Washington, D.C., Chicago. We're obviously bordering with Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland. So there's, a lot going on in our area and around our area. This is a picture of downtown Pittsburgh. If you haven't been there before, it's obviously one of my favorite cities. I've lived there my whole life, so I might be biased, but it's so pretty and there's so much to do, especially for college students. And just to back that up, we are a top 25 college town, a #1 city for young people, a #1 travel destination, and a couple other accolades that are listed on here as well. Brief history of the college. We were founded in 1781. We used to be 2 separate colleges and we merged together in 1865. This picture in the top left-hand corner is actually still standing on campus. It was built in 1793 and it's one of the oldest college buildings still standing. Academics, I know this is what you're all here for. So we are a private small liberal arts college. We have about 1,100 students total on campus, a 10-to-1 student faculty ratio. About 75% of our classes have less than 20 students in them. And most of our faculty members have terminal degrees, which means they have gone as far as they can studying what their expertise is in. I'll leave this up on the screen while I talk for just a bit, but these are all of our majors and minors. All W&J students will choose 2 academic areas of study, so either a major and a minor, a double major, or a combination of the 2. Some of our students have 3-4 majors. It's definitely possible to do at W&J. Our top 5 most popular are business administration, accounting, economics, political science, and psychology. And we are most well known for 2 of our pre-professional programs, pre-health and pre-law. We've had a 90% placement rate in both of those programs, pre-law for over 20 years now. But we do offer a 3-2 engineering program, an education program, and a lot of partnership programs in all 4 of the special programs you see listed on the screen. We have partnerships with Pitt, Duquesne, Temple, so some schools out near Philadelphia as well, and a couple other colleges in between. The Magellan Project is unique to W&J. It's an opportunity to basically plan your own passion project anywhere in the world or find an internship anywhere in the world, and the college will actually fund you to complete that experience. So our students have done some really interesting things through the Magellan Project. And then we also have study abroad opportunities, including a 2-week mini semester during the month of January. It's called J-term, or a semester or a year-long abroad, and the Magellan Project. So there are 3 different ways you can study abroad. And if you are into studying abroad, you can do 4 J-terms, either 2 years or 4 semesters abroad, and 3 Magellan projects throughout your 4 years. So there's a lot of opportunities to do it early, and continue to do it throughout your college experience. Lots to do at W&J, over 70 clubs and organizations, a little bit of something for everyone. We have arts, we have music, we have publications, community service organizations, athletic, religious. We do have Greek life on our campus as well. We have 26 NCAA Division III men's and women's sports, very competitive in all of the sports that we play. And then we also have a holistic advising program offered to all students throughout their 4 years, where you actually have 4 advisors / mentors starting your freshman year, and those people continue with you throughout your 4 years. And then we have a Center for Career and Professional Development and Ethical Leadership that is going to be new this year, but it will be immersed in the curriculum for all students all 4 years. So you're not waiting until last semester of senior year to go to the Career Services office and start asking questions. A couple outcomes listed on the screen. A few of them I already shared, but 97% of our students are employed or continuing their education within 6 months, and 100% of our students were accepted into graduate school. So not only are our students successful at W&J, but they are in their next steps as well. How can you apply? We are a member of the Common Application, and we also have our own W&J Leadership Application. All we require is the application itself and your transcript. Everything else is optional, and I feel like we have to humble brag that we've been test optional for about 10 years now, so that's not just a pandemic decision. But once we receive your transcript and your application, we'll start reviewing. Anything else you want to submit, we will definitely take a look at. We do have 3 deadlines: early decision, early action, and regular decision. However, we read applications in the order that they come into us, in the order of these deadlines. So you can apply regular decision tomorrow if you want to, and you will actually receive your admission decision in 2 weeks, regardless of when or how you apply. Here's a list of our scholarships. Every single student who is accepted to W&J receives a merit-based scholarship. They range anywhere from $23,000 to $34,000 per year. Financial aid, 99% of our students receive some type of federal financial aid through the FAFSA. There's a list of important dates there for you, and I will throw my contact information in the chat so that you have it. But thanks so much for joining us today.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And thank you to all of our presenters. We now have a few minutes for some Q&A before we wrap up this session. And so I would like to ask all of our presenters to respond to this question. What advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And if you can reply in the same order that you presented, that would be great.
Sure. My best advice is to enjoy the journey, because there are nearly 4,000 schools in this country and abroad. So you will find a place that will be great for you, and you will bloom where you are planted.
And I'm gonna piggyback a little bit off of what Kathleen said, and also say, in terms of the right college for you, there's a perfect fit for you at so many different types of colleges. So I would say, don't get swept up in like rankings and top whatever lists of schools, because those organizations really take into account a very specific set of criteria when they're putting these rankings together. And those things might not be important to you, but maybe they are. So maybe take some time to really think about what's important to you. What are you looking for your college experience? And then seek schools out that fit your needs, rather than what someone else is telling you is a right school for you.
I'm going to piggyback on that exactly. Find the best fit for you. Don't worry about what your friends are doing. Don't worry about the name of the school. Big name school sounds great, but it may not be a good fit for you. So do your research, but definitely go with the one that your gut tells you is the right place to be.
And for me, I'd say use your resources. There are so many amazing resources out there. Got all of us, right? Whoever your admissions reps are for the schools you're interested in. You have the internet and all of the virtual options that we now have on our websites. But one of your best resources is actually going to be your college counselor at your high school. They know so much about so many different schools. So if you have a particular school that interests you, go talk to your counselor and ask if they know of any schools that are kind of similar, that maybe they should be on your list as well. If you have no idea where to start with this whole process, go talk to your counselor. They really are your best resource.
Absolutely to everything everybody already said, but I'd also say to take time for yourself. This is a very stressful process, or it can be for lots of students. So to really unwind, find something you really like, go outside, don't think about it for a while, shut your computer, get rid of the internet for a while, and just take time for yourself to really reflect on what you want and what you want out of your 4 years at college.
And I would say just take advantage of the opportunities that the pandemic has given us. I know that's a weird thing to say, but now most of these schools do offer virtual visits for all of the in-person visits. I know we do. So you are far away. That's great. We still want you to visit. So log on to one of our virtual visits, check us out, ask your questions, and then decide if you want to, come across the country to visit our campus. We'd love to have you, but check us out online first before you make the trip.
Great, thank you all so much. So that just about takes us out of time for this session. But I do want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you to our presenters for all the wonderful information that you shared. And to our audience, when you close this window, there will be a link to a quick survey. We do appreciate your feedback. We encourage you to check the schedule for more sessions that are happening as part of this college fair. And as a reminder, you'll be able to find the recording from this others online at strivescan.com/WACAC. Thank you all so much and have a great evening.